My name is Othello Bonacci, and I'm a director, DP, and photographer based in DC. And I wanted to talk about my setup for Open Studio and how I got these images. So my setup was a white background with some V flats. Those are from V Flat World, and I used two B10 Pluses for the background, and I used one D2 1000 watt to light the subject. Initially, I thought I was going to use a beauty dish and nothing else. So I kind of started with that. I metered the background. I set my lighting on each one, blasting into the B flat, just to create an even light over the white. And then as you can see, there's some light spilling in from the background. So I have my boy Sam, he's a director and DP in DC as well, sit in for me, just so I can kind of get an idea of what I wanted to do. Camera wise, I'm shooting on the GFX 50R for the test, and then I switched to the 100S for the actual shoot. Behind camera, it's a Profoto B1X that's supposed to be a fill, but initially I didn't have one. This light is the B1X. Initially, I thought I wanted to go with the B1 as my main light, but I needed something as a workhorse to just keep going, and then I can use the B1X as my fill. I'm shooting into Capture One, and it's my test shot. So this is the final setup that I ended up going with. As you can see, it's a lot different. I went with the Rotolux large with a D2 as the main. I have a flag over camera left, and then I still have the two back lights flashing to make the background clean white. And then the B1 I have with a big umbrella as a fill. So basically what I wanted to do in this setup is have a modular setup to where I can turn off the backlights to get gray. I can use the whites just for a clean white, and then I can move in a black in which you will see. This is my favorite image that I shot this year of my boy Aaron. Aaron is also a DP and director in DC. Shout out to Aaron for making that image right there. So we have Shannon here. This is day of. As you can see, we still have a little bit of that little light kind of bothered me, but we were able to get it out. So as you can see, I'm shooting with the GFX 100 with the 85, and then I'm shooting into Capture One. And I love shooting into Capture One because it's quick, it's easy. That's Sierra, myself, Nirvana's on the camera. Shout out to Nirvana. And this is just me talking to Shannon, trying to get her to, shift her face a little bit. But yeah, this is the meat and potatoes of the day, and the look and the vibe. All right, so as you can see, there's a background on wheels right here. Perfect. And that background just allows for me to shoot quickly. I can just switch out backgrounds. I can turn off the backlights to make gray, and I can add this black background to make obviously black. That's the studio setup. We had a lot of things going on that day. And as you can see, it is a director's monitor as well. We're rolling some video. And yeah, so my setup, as you can see, the big Rotolux as my main, front 45. I would say a little bit to the right, more than 45, but I have my flag there. Looks really good. Then there's the extra pop with the umbrella, and that is a 7-foot umbrella with a diffuser. I want to say I photographed about 20 people. Having the setup like this to where I can just pop in and out, it really helps. All right, so now I'm shooting my homegirl Taylor, and I'm using the 50 this time. The 50 is my favorite GFX lens of all time. Something about the wide on the 4x3 sensor just looks right. Pro tip, when you're shooting a bunch of people, make sure you have a list of everyone's name, and in Capture One, switch out the capture name for their actual name. That way you can organize it on the back end. Alright, so we brought in the black background this time, and same setup, just moving her around. I'm gonna take a quick break to kind of break down the lighting setup, just so you can kind of get an idea of what I was initially going for and what it ended up being. Nowadays, I use an app called Satellite 3D. That just helps me pre-plan my shoots before I do anything. We are now in Satellite 3D, and I wanted to break down my setup and how I went about doing it. So initially, as you can see, I had a whole bunch of these things and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I just set up a whole bunch of different styles and kind of try to figure out what made sense. So if I were to make this setup the way that I did it, I would do GFX, and then my orientation would be this way. The main light that I used was a Octa, and I was about this far back. Let's switch out our model. I do this on most of the shoots just so I can figure out how to approach it. Let's do one. This lens I was using at 80, so I'll be up a little bit closer. This light can come down. This light can come here. So I think this is also good if you're trying to figure out Satellite 3D and like how long it actually takes to get a setup down, because sometimes it does take some time. So I'm not going to focus on making this look, you know, sexiest in the world, but I'll also do this. Let me do 1 meter by 1. Let's do 2 meters, and then let's bring this, no. Let's bring this here, rotate this here. So this is kind of how I have this, and then this guy, we'll just crank that bad boy. Yeah, see, now it's going this way, but we actually want it to. Come on, there we go. The grid, I wouldn't even think I had a grid on, it was open. There we go. There we go. Alright, so this is kind of rough, but boom. And I think when you're going through Satellite 3D, it's a good practice just to figure out how you want to shoot a lot of this stuff, right? It's a good practice to use it. It's a good practice to just test out. Sometimes this is my video game. I'll just sit here for a couple days and I'll just play. If I saw something, you know, on TV, if I saw something, you know, in a movie or anything, a good photograph. So we'll go super white. We need another helper. So this, we had this. This was probably like 0.5. It wasn't that big. No, it's not that small. Let's do 1. All right. Perfect. So we'll bring that here. And then we'll bring that down. We'll add another one of these. And I really need to rotate this. There we go. So yeah, 90 degrees. And so basically, when you're doing this, you kind of just want to be patient with it and give yourself time to mess up. Give yourself time to just play, because it's supposed to be fun. Like this job that we have as creators is supposed to be fun, unless you're getting too distracted, and then you're kind of scrambling. But yeah, we're almost there. Just move this up. See, that's kind of bright. This main light is 1,000 watts. Boom. So we're able to bump that up. So let's turn this off. See how that's really dark. And then we'll add another monolight in here with a umbrella. We'll do one of these just because. Yeah, we'll do one of these just because I need it as a fill, and it's not necessarily going to affect anything by not being exactly what I used. Alright, so what I'm doing here now is setting up my fill light, and when I'm doing my fill light, I want to make sure to see exactly how it's affecting my image. So in here we can see that, like, okay, it's giving me a little bit, right? Just enough, just a little bit of a kick. And I don't want my fill light to overpower my main light at all. But what I do want to do is I'm actually going to switch out her outfit. Because, let's see. Oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah, something with color, because I feel like the white just kind of gets in between and it just looks washed out. But to each his own. Alright, so boom. So we see that, right? Now we have our fill, and then our main, and then boom. So here are the final renders for the Open Studio look. Here's the white look, and then here's the black look. Super efficient, super clean. I hope this video helps someone who is out there looking to gain more knowledge, either on Elixir or studio photography in general. Again, thank you all for watching. This was a longer one, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.